All right, so this is a series on AI and cybersecurity. Specifically, I want to focus on how AI influences cybersecurity, but obviously give a little background on the so-called concept about AI. So this is not supposed to be an advanced AI course. We do have introduction to AI class along with advanced AI classes for those who are interested in learning more about AI. So I've been in the tech industry for a while, and I've seen a lot of things change since over a decade now that we've been involved. That's my contact information. So here, really, how artificial intelligence is transforming digital defense and threats. The qualification, the copyright for us. So I want to explore AI's role in cybersecurity opportunities and threats. And again, I already said how artificial intelligence is transforming digital defense and threats. So the academia and me has to talk about the learning objectives. So here, by the end of this session, I hope you'll be able to at least define cybersecurity, define AI, define the key AI concepts like machine learning, deep learning, and explain how AI enhances threat detection and response, and of course, identify the use of AI by attackers. We call them AI-powered cyber attacks, and understand the challenges and ethical consideration of AI in security, analyze I call this one an interesting concept about adversarial AI. Again, just IT International Software Testing Qualification Board, American Software Quality Assurance Board, they have a certification for AI tester, which I have. So just know that that's available to you. Send me an email if you want to know about it. It's relatively new, and not too many people have that, but because I teach it, I have to have that. All right. What exactly is cybersecurity in cyberspace? Anything you see that little cloud thing? Basically, is the practice of defending or indirectly supporting the defense of the network. Anything from computers, information systems. The whole idea is to basically protect it from malicious attack. This is from the TSA Cybersecurity Roadmap of 2018. So basically, defending the cyberspace. If you watch one of my videos for the final year students on cybersecurity, or when I do this for entities, I say everything about cybersecurity is the CIA triad, right? Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. But that's looking at it from the perspective of the blue team. But from the perspective of the red team or the adversarial, it will be the DAD triad, which will be disclosure, destruction, uh, altering the data, or denial. So both of them have to work together if I'm going to explain the concept. So these guys are trying to do this to defend, these guys are trying to do this to attack. So just be aware of it that there is the DAD triad, not just the CIA triad. If you need a little more, please go and watch that video. All right, so each one of them means. So the AI basically is getting computing devices to do what humans normally we do. You hear people say that today we are in the narrow AI. We have not gone to the super AI. Narrow AI would train the system or the module to do a specific task. Again, that's something for another course. But basically, AI would be, if I'm giving you an introduction to AI, is basically imitation of human intelligence processes by machines or computing devices. They could be having them to learn, reason, and then self-correct. Right? So this involves a lot of use of data, but the whole idea is to create expert systems and implement human intelligence in a machine. We are anticipating that AI will change traditional working style of industries. That was the way we produce, manufacture, or deliver. So now for cybersecurity, AI is obviously affecting us. So a summary of the history of AI, I started my journey in computer science in 1985 at Florida State University. Went on to work for the state and then Pricewaterhouse before moving on to law school and then later on academia and private consulting. But if you get into history of AI, you hear about Alan Turing and his test. So that's way back in the 50s. We say maybe cybersecurity started from the 50s, but you also see In my introduction to cyber, so in my introduction to AI course, I talk about mechanical machine, but also you have researchers in AI kind of like began more like in the 70s to all 1989. I remember when I always misled trying to do a PhD in computer science. Initially, we started talking about ADA, a new language, and other things. But now you see the 1990s, where you now have the emergence of expert systems. The 2000s, you have deep learning becomes part of present tools for AI, speech recognition, NLP, natural language processing. So today now in the 2000, this is being done at the end of 2025, this video, we now see that AI is currently being used in various industries from healthcare, banking, and all that. So AI is more than 70 years old. It's just that with the advent of, I think it was OpenAI, okay, popularized it when they came up with the ChatGPT. And of course, now we have other generative AI. All right, so what is AI in cybersecurity? The whole idea is, if you look at the definition I'm giving you here, the application of machine learning, deep learning, and other AI tools to automate and improve uh, digital systems. The main idea is moving from just what's called signature-based detection, how you behaving, what's happening here, to behavior-based and anomaly-based detection. So, signature-based, usually we have what we think the malware does or something. So we have like a database where we store them, right? So that would be classic old school antivirus software. But so AI in the digital era is kind of like a double-edged sword. So I didn't go too deep about machine learning and neural and deep learning, but just if I was to talk about machine learning, we'll be talking about supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, but I'll touch them as we go along in a minute. So AI in a digital era is a double-edged sword. It enables for us to detect threats faster. However, even the attackers use AI for advanced phishing and malware. I will show you in a minute. So there's always a balance between innovation and misuse. So these are the ways we can see adversaries using AI. And I'm sorry I put this thing in yellow highlight, but I wanted to stress the point, like automated hacking. So you have AI bots that automatically scan for and exploit vulnerabilities. Of course, you have sophisticated social engineering. You can take my video with good AI tools. You do deepfake video or audio of my voice for impersonation to call people that know me to try and get them to do what they normally will not do. Of course, evading defense, malware that changes its code, which is called polymorphic, to avoid detection by AI models. So going back on the social engineering, when we started in cybersecurity more than a decade ago, they used to say, oh, if you want to spot fraudulent or bad email, look for bad grammar, because they were believing that it came from non-English speakers. But now using AI tools like a chatbot for AI, you can actually develop grammatically correct email that people might not be able to detect issues with them. So here, this is just like AI, a key threat is what I was talking about is AI generated phishing. So because traditional phishing had spelling errors and poor grammar, so you have large language modules with GPTs, right, that can generate highly convincing, not just grammar free, but personalized phishing emails at scale, and they make them much harder to distinguish from like legitimate communication. So in one of the articles that I give to my students or other clients, the AI like driven phishing attacks. So they generate convincing emails and fake websites. So what has been shown is that with AI driven phishing, the phishing success rates are higher due to personalization than number one. Businesses must train employees to detect AI powered scam. I do see a video from a guy who was doing a test between email generated by AI, email generated by humans to test which one seemed better, but that's up to you to look. I think that would, to me, seem like more an academic exercise. But AI can generate just realistic fake audios and videos. You know that whether you're using Bio 3, the image behind me is AI generated, or the other one I use, but you have to tweak it to make sure that it looks a little more personal. It's AI, obviously, we use them in fraud, impersonation, and misinformation. So this is now something that my lawyer had. I've not been in the courtroom in over, at almost 20 years. I first got called to Dubai in 1934. Sorry, 34 years ago, 1994, I believe. Okay, I think October 1994. So, who is legally responsible for uh, fraud that you generate using AI? Is it the people that develop the large language model or the person that is using the tool? And what about ethical considerations about this? Just like we talk about responsible use of AI in general, as in academia or your work, also who is responsible for problems that AI create, like AI enables you to do excellent email, right? So there's an article on Economic Times about AI chatbot scam. So these chatbots can actually mimic customer service agents. And when it does that, it tricks you into revealing sensitive data. And like in India, for example, which is now the most populous nation in the world, I read one of the articles, it's a high surge in India and even and globally. Because you remember when you get into a chatbot, normally if I'm doing a travel reservation, I'm having a problem with my reservation, I go on there because a chatbot is one of the best use of AI tools. And it will now ask me, say, this, my name is Erica or my name is John. Please, what are you ask? What are you questioning me about? Give me your name, your travel itinerary, personal information. So they're using it now for bad purposes. AI for malware evasion. So AI, sorry, enables adaptive malware that avoids detection because malwares can learn from cybersecurity defenses. This just demands like constant innovation in your defensive AI. So it's almost like we're trying to go against each other, right? So the other thing here is uh, I need to really talk about machine learning and deep learning so I can get back to what we're talking about, how it relates to cybersecurity. So, exactly what is a machine learning? Basically, it's just an algorithm, a formula that learns patterns from data to make predictions or decisions without being explicitly programmed for every task. So one good case is classifying emails as spam or non-spam based on historical data that you've trained the model with. This is classic example of supervised learning, right? So which means you give it something and you tell it the expected answer. So in cybersecurity, you analyze your network traffic to identify like patterns that might indicate distributed denial of service attack. Many email applications use AI to determine spam. So just be aware of it. So that's the classification, right? As opposed to what we're going to look at here in a minute. So like when you go to Netflix and it recommends stuff to you, that's also a very classic use of AI. So now deep learning, it is part of machine learning. It uses complex like neural networks to process data. It's like designed to mimic like the human brain. So this is good for like image and speech recognition. So you will see that this could be one when you're implementing AI for like FRT, facial recognition technology. It's one where we use it. But so in cybersecurity, analyzing like file behavior to determine like never before seen zero-day malware. Zero-day malware are those malware that the industry, the manufacturer of the software, whatever it is, or the hardware, has not detected it. So 0 day, the day that is detected or it's implemented is now day zero, right? So we've not had enough time to like create the patches to solve it. So AI tools using deep learning is a good tool to fight against 0 day malware. Now, so it's a new type of AI attack. It's called adversarial AI, both in the models and stuff. So the whole idea is you're trying to manipulate the input data to fool the AI modules into making a wrong decision. So you'd be like, wait a minute, right? Yeah, people actually go through the trouble of doing this. So, and a famous example was like you add like maybe a little subtle invisible noise to like that image, panda image, if you know, to make an AI classify it as like a gibbon. So normally in supervised learning, I can give the system a picture of dogs and cats. I train it in enough of those data that the next time I show him, when I put it into production and I show it, him or her, I'm going to use what it, a picture of a cat, you'll be able to see, yeah, this is a cat. So if I am trying to mess with that module, I could be trying to fool it, right? So for cybersecurity, an attacker could slightly modify like a malware file so that the AI-based antivirus misclassifies it as safe. So when we're doing AI testing, you also do adversarial testing of the AI module to make sure that it is doing what it's supposed to do. All right. This picture to the left here, on my left, I don't know which part is on your screen, is an AI generated picture of a robot guarding a computing system, right? This was generated by DALI or ChatGPT. So we use AI in cybersecurity for anomaly detection and predictive analysis, right? Looking at something that is unusual and to make a prediction. It helps your SOCs, right? Your security operation centers, to prioritize your threats. And this also reduces response time in incident management. So how AI helps defenders also will be, again, identify anomaly in user behavior. So always I need to know what's a normal behavior to know what is an abnormal behavior. And there's the system logs that humans might miss. It helps you to look at that. In the phishing detection, it analyzes like email contents, the headers, and then it sends a reputation to flag sophisticated phishing attempts. So really, it's part of like feeding using threat feed into your system to help you with this. For example, when we're talking about the header information, like when I send an email or when I send a layer 3 packet, I have headers and all that. So the system should be able to analyze the network traffic and parse it or divide it up to say this looks funny. For the malware analysis, maybe static and dynamic analysis. Remember that from the other teaching I did about static, meaning looking at it without running it. Dynamic, I'm running and checking to look at malicious software, even without a known signature. Right? So because normally a good system will work well if I have a database of the known signature. What happens when it's a 0-day, I don't have that signature? So this is where AI comes in. So part 2 will be helping us with SOA, automated incident response, like isolating an infected network from the machine from the network. Also, vulnerability management. Help me prioritize which software vulnerabilities to patch first based on the likelihood of exploitation. Because if you have a large enterprise environment, you as the security analyst might be not be able to do all this. So AI tools help you in prioritizing these software vulnerabilities that needs to be patched. So that means obviously you have to feed it in through other threat sources. For fraud detection, identifies unusual financial transactions in real time. So, like many countries, if you send $10,000 or more, it has to be declared and it's seen. So suppose I send 9,999, like 10 times. That means I've almost done $100,000 transaction. So even in anti-money laundering and all those things, you find that AI is a very, very good tool for that. I am consulting currently for an entity, a government, on this issue, and we are trying obviously to sell our services and all that. But this is a very good use. Of course, you have to be careful about false positive, false negative. All right, but challenges and limitation. AI is all about data. We say data is the new oil. So it says garbage in, garbage out. So AI needs vast amounts of high quality, relevant data. If you remember the whole idea about big data with the velocity, veracity, the V's of big data. So when I'm training AI modules, I need to have obviously the training data set, the test data set, validation data set. I need a lot of data to train it. Remember when DeepSeek came out, they claimed they trained their model with humongous amount of data, more than I think it was ChatGPT, and they claimed it cost them less. So just remember, it's garbage in, garbage out. Now, the second issue is what I was talking about: false positive, false negative. So an AI might block legitimate traffic, which is the false positive, or it might miss a real threat. That's the false negative. So you have to decide which one is more significant when you're trying to tweak your system. Where the false positive and the false negative interact is very important statistics to look at, right? But if I have a system for cancer detection, I definitely might be more worried about false negative. The AI doesn't look at the image and doesn't catch the cancer. Yes, if it falsely says I have cancer, I might have emotional problems, I might have family concern and all that. But the question is, would you rather it tell you that you have a cancer only to find out later that you don't have cancer, or tell you that you don't have cancer, and then later on find out that you have cancer when it's metastasized or gotten worse. The third issue here is what's called explainability, right? Besides transparent. So there's a new segment of AI called explainable AI. Sometimes, I'm telling you, I've been doing this for a while, but sometimes it's very difficult to understand why a complex AI model made a specific decision. It's called the black box problem. So many organizations, like even the GDPR, says you must be able to explain how that AI tool reached that decision. If it was used to like deny loan application, how did it get to that result? You must be able to explain it, right? That's a good thing that the GDPR talks about. So policy, ethics, and regulation ties to what I was just saying here. The government's drafting AI policy. EU has an EU AI Act. I am trying to do a series on AI law. It's just taking me a while researching the different jurisdictions and stuff, but I will hopefully before the end of the year, part of early next year, I'll come up with a little training on AI law without giving legal advice. Also, ethical use, avoiding the bias and ensuring accountability, who's accountable for the problem. AI, as we said, garbage in, garbage out. There might be problems with the data. It inherits bias, especially if you use pre-trained models. The point is that we need international collaboration on AI security. On the ethics, on ethical considerations, is if trained data is biased, the AI will be biased, like flagging activity from certain regions as more suspicious. I do a lot of stuff in Africa, Nigeria, the Middle East. If you think because email originated from Nigeria or from China, that means it's suspicious, you're missing the whole thing about AI. That's why we encourage the zero trust model. It's not just about me being able to mask my IP address using VPN or something, but most of the VPN vendors not even give you the opportunity to even have a dedicated IP address. So I can have my IP address saying I'm in the US and I can do something bad from Czechoslovakia or something. Sorry, now it's not called Czech or Slovakia, all right? The whole idea is you just need to be careful. Privacy, AI security tools often require massive data monitoring, raising user concern. If you train it with PII, be careful about it. Accountability, if an AI system fails to stop a major breach, who is responsible? In the case of CrowdStrike, you heard about the lawsuits against them. Cybersecurity insurance is a major issue now, but who is really responsible? One insurance company might not want to pay, whereas another one will say, yeah, it's your responsibility. So the best practice for you as an organization, which I'm going to give a plug for us at Atawa Technologies or Atawa AI, is to talk to experienced companies that have the education, not just the degree, but also the certification and a proven track record. Right? So adopt zero trust and layered defenses. Train your workforce on AI-driven threats. I'm amazed at how many people don't understand the importance of end user awareness training. It's not just about me coming over there to read slide. Let me talk to you about real world situation, explore the case studies that is relevant to your industry or your part of the world. So invest in AI-enabled detection tools and develop an incident response strategy. Watch the video on my incident response, the two of them. So the future of AI, so as I was telling you, as we are trying to develop our own solutions to fight the guys also developing better AI tools. It's actually exciting. I always say this is one of the best times to be in tech. And so the conflict between AI-powered defense and AI-powered attacks will continue to evolve. The development was called even adversarial training to harden AI models to guard against attacks is very, very important. We call this the technology race or the technology arm race. We don't understand that technology, cybersecurity is considered a weapon of warfare. That is why most of us that consult in some parts of the world, you have to know about the ITAR regulations. And people always say, supposedly, that before Russia attacked Ukraine, they engaged in cyber warfare first. And so AI is a powerful tool, but it is not a silver bullet. It doesn't solve all your problems. It must be part of a layered security strategy. Just like those who use AI to research and just take everything AI gives them, forgetting about hallucination, that you still need a subject matter expert to do this stuff. Just understand the future. AI is like a continuous arms race. So summary, I hope I've tried to cover as much as possible here. You can take the advanced course. So AI automates and enhances threat detection and response. Both the defenders and the Attackers are leveraging AI. Adversarial AI is a critical new frontier in cybersecurity. Understanding the challenges like the bias explainability is an important part of understanding the benefits in cybersecurity. So feel free to send me questions. For my students at the university, I've given you like 5 articles to read, like the F5 hack, and something from India, and there's one about the C8B. But send me questions and let's talk about it. We are all continuing to learn. Things are changing and evolving. AI is both a weapon and a shield in cybersecurity. We must stay ahead of the AI attackers. We got to be taking courses all the time. So my reference is the CBIA article, the Economic Times Quick Hill report, the NIST AI risk management framework. So look out for intro to AI or advanced courses. Again, feel free to reach out to me here, and then we can talk all the time. I'm available for you. If you're taking the Security Plus exam, good luck, or the AI Cybersecurity Management exam, good luck. There's so many things to do and to stay current in the industry. Stay blessed.